Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today we're taking a look at Lattafa's Khashabi. So Khashabi is from the House of Lattafa. It's an eau de parfum concentration, and you can pick this bad boy up for $21 at various discounters. Link will be down in the description if you decide you want to check this one out. Also have coupon codes. Save yourself $5 off your first purchase at a couple of different fragrance discounters. Presentation on this, pretty straightforward box on this, but it does have a nice kind of window showing our bottle inside. But other than that, pretty straightforward cardboard box that does have a slide off cover like so. And inside we have our bottle. So pretty straightforward box with that one. And the bottle on this, I actually quite like. It has like, I'm not sure what this is. I want to say like bamboo or something, but it does have a kind of leaf metal inlay overlay there, matching up to the cap. And the cap on this, fairly lightweight, but it does have like a little bit of a, thick plastic to it. And the atomizer on this bad boy is quite nice. Sprays halfway across the room, good distribution. So overall presentation on this, especially for $21, the only thing, it's hard to get back on. You gotta line the leaves up right there, but minor detail. But overall, nice presentation. So if you were wondering what Lattafa's Khashabi smells like, you've come to the right place, because I'm about to tell you. But first, a fun fact. According to my sources and my detective skills, Khashabi translates from Arabic into English as woody. So pretty straightforward and a fairly accurate description of this fragrance. Some of the notes listed in this are a bergamot, lavender, patchouli, amber, leather, everly, and some dry amber. So let me tell you what I get from this fragrance. In the opening, you get this really nice bergamot and lavender that come through, giving it that bright, citrus, clean sort of vibe going on to it with that lavender, which almost adds a kind of a sweetness to it, a little bit of a floral sweetness, and an aromatic nature that really plays off that citrus very nicely. Get a little bit of that patchouli that comes through, adds a greenness to it as it kind of works its way through that mid into those top notes. And you do get a little hint of that leather from the base that comes through and kind of mixes with all those top notes. A little bit of like a peanut style of accord that comes through with that leather. It has that sort of feel to it. But like I said, in the opening, very bright, citrusy, floral style of opening with a little bit of greens and woods and leather mixed in. But as this opens up, you get a lot more of that amber starting to come through from the mid. So it adds a sweetness to it. It starts adding a bit of a dryness to it, a little bit of a texture to it, and that leather comes forward a little bit more. Again, not a leather forward fragrance necessarily, but it is there, and it kind of just adds a little bit of darkness, a little bit of richness to this scent accord. But where the magic really comes is in the dry down. You get that dry amber that comes through, mixes with this Everly, which gives it kind of an oak moss feel, gives it like a little wisp of smoke, a little bit kind of a dampness, like a mossy sort of feel that mixes with those woods. Very deep, dark, rich style of woods. Still has that little hint of that lavender, bergamot, sort of sweet citrus, sweet aromatics coming through, but through and through, this dries down to a really nice, dark, rich, woody style of fragrance. Absolutely perfect. Very mysterious, has this addictive nature to it. Like I said, very rich, but also a very, very masculine style of fragrance. And I absolutely love this one. Perfect for the spring, perfect for the fall. This is just an absolutely gorgeous, unique style of scent profile. This might not be for everyone necessarily. It does have that kind of peanut accord that comes through, the rich woods with that kind of sweet, ambery, citrus style of accord that kind of sits on top, plays around the edges of this one. It is not your typical woody style of fragrance, but I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite scent accords from Lattafa, and it's just such a unique wood style of fragrance. So all in all, really like the scent on this one. So when it comes to the performance of Lattafa's Khashabi, I get pretty good performance off this. I get about 7-8 hours off of my skin, and the projection for this, for the first hour and a half, 2 hours, is pretty good. It will push beyond an arm's length before it does settle back in. Get some on my clothes, and I'm definitely going to smell that into the next morning. So if you want to stretch that out, definitely get some on your clothing. But overall, for this kind of like fresh citrusy floral with that kind of deep, rich, dark, woody scent accord going on to it, I think this does perform very well. And again, for 21 bucks, bang for your buck, does fairly well. So overall, pretty pleased with the performance on this one. So when it comes to the where and when, I think Lattafa's Khashabi would be most appropriate. I think through and through, this is mostly a casual style of fragrance, but I do think you can pull this off on things like date nights and even maybe dress this up a little bit. It has that kind of mysterious, deep, rich wood sort of vibe going on to it, that masculinity that comes through, but it still has that kind of soft, playful edge with that citrus, those kind of soft floral touches around it, that it just has this certain allure to it that I think you can pull it off on a date night, and I think you can dress this up because of just kind of that mysterious nature to it, that masculine and vibe going on. But through and through, I think mostly this is a casual style fragrance. In terms of seasons, I think this is absolute beautiful spring fragrance, just fits that vibe perfect. I also think for the fall, with that kind of rich wood sort of accord going on to it, I think the fall time, this is absolutely appropriate as well. But even summer evenings, I think kind of on like a bit of a cooler summer evening, this would be appropriate as well. You can pull that off. I think in the high heat, you might be able to pull this off, but it might be a little bit too kind of those dark, rich woods coming through, that it could be a little bit too heavy for you. But overall, I don't think it's super heavy. So you can give it a shot and see if it does well in high heat, but I just warn against that. Maybe a summer evening, if anything. Wintertime, I think this would push through. Just doesn't have that sort of vibe to me. It just has more of a spring vibe, a little bit more kind of an early fall vibe. That's where I think this one would be most appropriate. So my overall thoughts on Lattafa's Khashabi is I think this is just a hidden gem within the Lattafa line. I'm pretty sure most people that have like been shopping on discounters, scrolling through the Lattafa catalog have seen this one and just passed it by, not thinking much about it because not many people really talk about this fragrance. And I think that's a crying shame because I absolutely love this one. I love that deep, rich, woody dry down, the dryness that comes through, that little bit wisp of oak mossy style of smoke, kind of some wet mossy feel that goes through it, and those nice, sweet, ambery floral notes that play around the edges, that beautiful citrus opening that comes with this, that little kiss of leather that runs through. I think this is just a great, unique style of rich, woody fragrances. And I absolutely love this one. Like I said, might not be for everybody, but I think if you're into a little bit more of the kind of the woody spring style, fall style of fragrances that has a little bit of a unique edge to it, this is definitely worth checking out. And like I said, performance on this is good. I think this is very versatile across seasons and different occasions. And I think for $21, this is something definitely worth checking out. That's Lattafa's Khashabi. And I want to hear from you guys. What's one hidden gem cheapie that you think we should all know about? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.